Okay, we're on Module 4, Lesson 3 on your own. This starts on page 117 and goes to page 118. So let us take a look at our first question. A clothing company has 4,630 shirts to ship. They can fit 130 shirts in a shipping box. How many boxes are needed to ship all the shirts? So we're going to take 4,630 and we're going to divide it by 130. I know 130 cannot fit into 4 or 46, but it can fit into 463. And it can do that 3 times. Because 130 times 3, we get 0, 9, 3. So 463 minus 390, we get a 3. We're going to borrow 16 minus 9 is 7. And then we're going to bring down this 0. So we're trying to figure out how many times 130 can go into 730. I'm going to try 5. So 130 times 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 5, 6. So we're going to put a 5 here. And we get 650. We're going to do some borrowing. 0 minus 0 is 0. 13 minus 5 is 8. So we get 35, remainder 80. So we need, says if there is a remainder, there needs to be an additional box. So we have 35 full boxes, and then we have an extra one. So we're going to need 36 boxes. Okay, what does the remainder mean in this context? So there are 35 boxes with 130 shirts, and one box has 80 shirts because 80 is our remainder. Okay, let's look at the next one. Trevor runs laps on the track. If he runs 9,200 meters total, each lap is 400 meters. How many did he run? So we're going to set our problem up just like this. 9,200 divided by 400. 400 does not fit into 9. It does not fit into 92, but it fits into 920 twice. Because 400 times 2 is 800. And that gives us 120, and we bring down our 0. 400 goes into 1,200 3 times, because 400 times 3 is 1,200. So we get 23 laps over here. Next. A liter of water from the Dead Sea has 250 grams of salt. A tank, similarly, salted water holds 5,750 grams of salt. So we have this, and we're going to divide by 250. 250 goes into 575 twice, because that is 500. We get 75, bring down our 0, and 250 goes into 753 times, because 250 times 3 is 750. So we get 23. Next. A gallon of water contains 128 fluid ounces. A rain barrel can hold 6,400 ounces of water. How many gallons of water can the barrel hold? So I have 6,400 divided by 128. It cannot go into 6. It cannot go into 64. But we can do 128. And I'm going to try 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 10 plus 4 is 14. 5, 6. So I get I hope if I made this a better 4, so it looked like 4, not a 7. So 5 goes in here 640 times. We bring down our 0. 128 cannot go into 0, so we bring it right on there. So it's going to be 50. Next. So, an express train travels at an average speed of 280 kilometers per hour. Kiko calculates the amount of time it would take to travel 3,360 kilometers. Her work is shown. And we're going to see if her work is correct. So, she forgot to do something. She forgot to bring down the 0 after subtracting 20. Or 280, I'm sorry. So right here, she forgot to bring the 0 down right here and put it next to her 560. So the quotient should really be 12, not 102. So right there. Okay, now we're going to be going into a lot of division problems. So the next couple of problems, we're going to be doing estimates and quotients. And for these ones, since you can check those so easily, and there's not really a lot of words in them, I'm going to pause the screen, let you work on them, and then you can check to see if you got them right. Okay, so let's take a look to see how you did. If you look, that was way too zoomed in. Okay, right over here, I have the first one. If you need to pause this to look to see how I did it, make sure you're doing that. My first one, I got an answer of 39. I'm okay if you're not really estimating. Your estimate should have been about 35 on this one. I'm more concerned about your quotients. Next one, we have 5,104 divided by 116. My estimate should have been around 50. And I got 44 for my answer, so those are pretty close. The next one, we have this one right here, 6,322 divided by 109. Your estimate should have been 60. And your quotient that you got was 58. Okay, we're moving on to 64,000. Right here, 64,000 divided by 110. Your estimate should have been around 640. Your quotient was 581. And you had a remainder right here of 90. Next. Okay, if I move this we have 3,000 right here. 3,045 divided by 85. Your estimate should have been 30. And then your quotient was right here, 35, remainder 70. Again, if you need to stop this and look at my work to see how I did that, make sure you are doing that. Okay, let's check it out. We're going to go to the next one. We have 10,169 divided by 342. Your estimate should have been 333, around there. Your quotient is 29 and your remainder is 25. Sorry, not 333, just 33. We get 29 and we get 251. Our next one, Mr. Simon buys a car for a total cost of $9,899. He can make a $206 a month, but no more payment. He determines that he will pay 49 payments. Is he correct? So if we look at this, I did this work right here. So he has 48 full payments and then a 49th payment of $11. So he will make 48 payments of $206 and his last payment will be $11 because 11 was my remainder. A blue whale can weigh up to 400,000 pounds. A standard school bus has a gross weight of 25,000 pounds. How many school buses are equivalent to the weight of a blue whale. So if you look right here, I did that and I got 16. Next. Okay, so a jug contains 3,840 milliliters of water. How many cups of water does the jug contain? It says 1 cup is equivalent to 240 milliliters. So if you look right here, I took 3,840 and I divided by 240. You can see all my work I did right there, and I got an answer of 16. Next. An office building is renting offices that each have an area of 500 square feet. The office building is renting a total of 7,000 square feet. So down here, I did 7,000 divided by 500, and I got 14 as my answer. Okay, we're going to be moving on, and these next 6 are straight right to the point. Some will have whole number quotients, and some will have a remainder. Not all of them will have a remainder, some of them will not. Okay, so let us take a look at this next column. We have 7,874, and we're going to divide it by 127. And it says if there's no remainder, put a 0 in the box. Here is our first problem, and I got a quotient of 62, and I didn't have a remainder, so I'm going to put a 0. Okay, next. Our next one, we get 4,995 divided by 33. I got 15 as my quotient, and it didn't have a remainder, so I'm going to type a 0. Remember, you can always pause this if you need to. Okay, the next one, we have 945 divided by 35, and I got 27. Okay, next one, 8,588 divided by 452. I have all my work shown right here for you. And I got an answer of 19, and there's no remainder. Our next one, number 22, I got 880 divided by 91, and that's going to be 9, remainder 61. So I did get a remainder on that one. Next. Then we have 58,000 divided by 600, and we get 96. And then our remainder is actually really high on this one. It's 400. But as long as your remainder is less than this number right here, you are good to go. And that is all there is to on your own.